Welcome everyone to the first installment of the TORSpace Guild Sector. Joining us this week will be Rain. I am Banzer and I'll be facilitating this interview. And joining me from Rain I have Arzon and FX Fortana. Please introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Hello and thank you. My name is Arzon. I am the Sovereign of Rain, aka Guild Leader or Guild Master as you may.
And I'm FX Fortana, an Overlord / Officer of Rain.
Welcome to both of you. So please tell us a little bit about Rain and what it is.
Well, Rain is a casual core Sith guild for one who's looking for an active, supportive community of people who have, the same kinds of ideals of how you want to play Star Wars: The Old Republic. Our emphasis is on camaraderie and just enjoying the game however you'd like to spend your time, whether it be in PvP, PvE, crafting, role-playing, or whatever other activity that attracts you that the game has to offer. We offer recognition for our members' contributions and their activities through our medal system. We also have Guild Member of the Month selection, along with the possibility of obtaining the veteran rank for long-time membership and contribution to the community. We also have the Master and Apprentice system, which is a deep RP training and proving ground for those who enjoy designing and playing out their own story for their character within Rain.
That sounds very interesting. How many members do you currently have?
145 last I checked.
Elaborate on the power structure you hold at the moment to run a guild of that size.
So Rain has been set up from day one as a group that prides itself on running a series of checks and balances. We're not a dictatorship. We're not a one-man show. So right from the outset, we started with 2 guild leaders, and each guild leader makes sure that the other guild leader pulls their weight. No decision is made without all points of view being considered, making sure that everything that we do is in the best interest of the guild. When you have one person doing that, there's far too much risk that the decisions made are in the best interest of that person. When you have more than one person in charge, then there's much less risk of that happening. So we've always had 2 sovereigns, which are what we call our guild leaders, and that's myself, and for a long while it was a gentleman named Uthos until real-life obligations took priority, and now we have Variable, who is our second sovereign. Directly beneath the sovereigns, we've got our overlords, or as many would just call them, officers. We've got about a handful of officers. Each one is just basically another mini sovereign in which we bounce ideas off of one another, make sure all decisions are discussed and vetted, to make sure that all points of view are considered and we don't do anything without potentially having any negative consequences or alienating any portion of the guild population as a result. So those officers are another form of the checks and balances, and again give us another body of capable administrators to handle all aspects of the guild, whether it's inviting people into the guild or kicking people or just mediating a dispute. Between the sovereigns and the officers, we provide pretty good coverage to have an admin body online nearly 24/7. In addition to that, because of the size of our guild and being at almost 150 members, we also have a group of what we call Dark Counselors, which are basically mini officers that are also individuals who have admin capabilities. And the idea is that when we're inside Tor, we don't want every single officer having to deal with every single menial task of the guild. So, we don't want anybody to be detracting time away from real-life obligations or anything like that just to be able to handle administrative tasks. So we've got the Dark Counselors can also do things like invite people, kick people, mediate disputes, that kind of thing too. They don't hold the same level of overarching decision-making capabilities as the officers, but they're little officer underlings that can do a lot of the same admin type role. And then beneath that we have our veteran members, who are basically long-standing members that we have rewarded with a special title and a unique color of their username on our forums and our website there. That just recognizes them as a long-standing, nicely contributing member of the guild. That's pretty much how anybody could deem a veteran member. And then we've got our group of regular members and then our recruits, which are just basically brand new bodies coming into the guild. They're trying their hand to become full members. We run them through a 2-week trial period until they become a full member. Until that time, they remain as a recruit.
Excellent. That sounds excellent. Now, would you be able to tell us what your plans are for the launch phase, basically regarding server type and possible allies, adversaries, that type of thing?
From day one, we've always intended to roll on a role-playing PvP server, simply for the more mature atmosphere that such a server usually allows you to have. When BioWare came out and said that the only 3 server types available were going to be PvE, PvP, and RP, we had to decide at that time that obviously PvP is a very popular aspect of the game, and it allows you to do so much more within the game at any given time than just a regular PvE server, in my mind. If you're at level 50 and you've exhausted a lot of the PvE content, what are you going to do? You're going to go look for a battle against the opposite enemy, and sometimes it's more fun to find that battle out in the open world than in a stage setting. So PvP has always been foremost in our mind. And finally, once everybody kicked and screamed enough in BioWare Cave to give us an RP PvP server, that decided it for us that that's where we're going to go. Unfortunately, the BioWare Guild HQ isn't integrated with such a server type since it was a bit of an afterthought, so we have to handle things from a little more manual, old-fashioned sense. So, here we are just about almost 10 days until early access, so as soon as we find out the RP PvP server names and decide on which one we're going to roll on, assuming there's more than one, we don't even know that, we'll have it posted on our website and the world will know where Rain's going.
Excellent, excellent. Now, how about endgame? What are your goals for the guild for the endgame or higher level phases, say, a month or 2 after launch?
Quite simply, we want everybody to experience everything that they want to experience in the game. So we're a very diverse group of 100 and almost 50 people. You can imagine we've got a lot of people that are very focused on wanting to clear PvE content. We've got a lot of people that want to be a dominant force in PvP. We've got people that simply want to do a little bit of everything. We've got people that want to focus time and energy on doing role-playing events, all that kind of thing. So we don't have any one particular goal or even a set of particular goals aside from just letting everybody have fun, doing what they want to do, and we'll provide all the tools and everything they need to be able to be successful at doing so. So as it pertains to those that want to clear PvE content, we'll certainly be running PvE events weekly or even, multiple times per week to help them do that. Same thing for the PvP group. If those people want to really rack up the PvP kills, we'll be hosting PvP events, and same can be said for RP and crafting and anything else.
Excellent. Now, how long do you expect Rain to continue? When you set this up, how long in your mind did you foresee this guild continuing and being very active?
I'll let you take that one, Arzon.
Well, again, it's my belief that Guild isn't set up just for one game. A Guild is set up to be a community of friends that congregate together to play any number of games for as long as they so desire. Up to this point of starting Rain and having led it for over a year now, I've been in multiple guilds, and I've maintained friendships from those guilds, but none of those guilds have stuck together because those guilds were only focused on one particular aspect of a game or one particular game, or once people decided that game wasn't for them, they left the guild. That's not my intention here. My intention here is, we're focused on Tor, and that's going to be the game that we play primarily, and that's the one for which we're formally set up for, but 3 years down the road, as other games have come out and people want to venture forth and try their hand at other things, my hope is they'll do so as Rain. They'll keep their membership in Rain, keep all the friendships they've made, venture forth into those new games carrying the Rain banner, and we'll be here until, the internet plug is shut off. Who knows? I have no intention of saying that we're only going to be lasting as long as Tor lasts, even though we have no idea how long that could be. We'll be here forever.
Evix, what about you? Do you have an opinion on that?
No, I really stand by Arzon's vision of it, because he's held it from the beginning, and that's part of what drew me to Rain in the first place, is that this is more than just about one game. It's about a group of people, and you want to share these experiences with these people, because that's what a guild is. It's a community, and when you build those relationships, it's just, for me, it's not satisfying to just let that drift away when it's time for me to shift my focus to something else, or if I find something else that draws my attention. Yeah.
Sounds great. So, for those who wish to possibly be applicants or recruits of your guild, what can you say that you expect to require of them when they show up at your door?
Personally, I find it a very simple sort of requirement in that we expect them to put forth an effort to let us get to know them, to open up and give us as much as they're willing to offer, to let us get to know them and understand who they are, and using the tools we offer them as well through the forums and our Mumble server to connect with us and get to know us as well, to see that mutual interest, because that's really what I feel they have to prove to us, is that they want to be here. And there's only 2 weeks to get that done. So, if they're putting that effort forward, that's really good enough for me. And essentially, that's what I've seen to this point with the kind of people we've had coming in here. And I've been very satisfied with the system we have in place as well to have quality control as well.
What exactly is your website, once again, just for those who are curious?
www.rainguild.net.
Great. Now, this last question is for Arzon specifically. Arzon, how does it feel having this guild that you created from dust well over a year ago on the verge of entering the game that you've waited so long to play?
It's kind of a bizarre feeling, really, because, you think about gaming and guilds and all that, and in the retrospect, in the grand scheme of life, it seems like such a low priority item, such a thing that should be, sitting on the back of your mind. But I find myself so emotionally invested in this and all the time and effort that I put into building this community and seeing all the great people that I've built friendships with during that time, that it's really a powerful thing to think about the fact that we're really going to finally be enjoying each other's company in a unified game beyond the confines of our website, forums, chat, or any of the miscellaneous games that we've played together, while waiting for Tor. It feels like, we've been following the yellow brick road, and now we're finally standing at the gates of the Emerald Kingdom, about to take our first steps into the world we've been anxiously anticipating for all this time now. It's a very overwhelming sensation, really.
It was very well put. I can assure you that I match your anticipation as well. Now, if none of you have anything else to add, I think that'll bring us to the conclusion.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you. Again, this is the first installment of the TORSpace Guild Sector. This has been Rain. Thank you again to Arzon and Evix Fortana for joining us.